Is it recording?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, hi, good to see you again. I know it's been a little bit since we saw each other. How you been feeling?
I've been like all right. I mean honestly like not really doing well, I feel like.
That's understandable. Do you want to maybe talk a little bit more about that? Do you want to go more in depth in that real quick, or do you want to hold off on that for a minute? It's up to you.
Well, I think like financially I'm just doing a lot worse and it's just like really frustrating because it feels like all I do is work and I'm just not really like having fun. Like I used to have so much fun with my friends and like all I do is work. I hate my job. I just like hate school. I hate everything and everything's so expensive. Yeah.
That's understandable. You said you work as a waitress, right? If I'm remembering that correctly.
Yeah.
So, how many hours do you think you roughly work? Like in a week, let's say, on top of school?
I probably work close to 30 hours.
Ooh, that's a lot for, especially for a full-time student.
Yeah. I mean, like, my like hourly wage is like $2.50. So I'm like relying on tips and I just like I don't know, I feel like it's not really that stable of a job, but like I don't know what else to do. So I've just been trying to pick up like shifts when I can and yeah, I just have like really been like needing money. So
That's understandable, especially in this economy lately. It's been a lot,
yeah.
but I understand your struggle. If you don't mind, I would like to ask you a few questions to basically just kind of screen you for anxiety and depression, since it seems like you've been having a rough time lately, and I kind of want to get a gauge on that,
Yeah.
just because even though you're experiencing it, sometimes you might not fully grasp it until you answer all these questions out loud. So,
Okay.
if you don't mind, I would like to ask you these questions. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so you say you've been working a lot. Has that been making you feel nervous, anxious? How you been feeling lately? Like what is your feelings on anxiety wise? Are you being anxious a lot lately? Is it like something where you wake up anxious, or are you kind of just going with the flow, kind of just every day is kind of blending in?
Um, well, I think first like something that's really been confusing is like I feel like I work all of the time, but I just like can't sleep at night and like I'm really tired, but like I just can't fall asleep. I just have like I just am awake with my thoughts. I think about everything that could happen the next day and like just like money. What if I don't make enough money? What if it's all these what ifs that just keep me up at night and it's really been bothering me, honestly.
That's fair. That's understandable. I'm so what you're excuse me. So if I got this correctly, you're feeling worried a lot. You can't sleep at night because you are just so worried about what the next day has for you.
Yeah, and like on top of just working, like school, and I don't even know if like I want to keep doing school. It's just been too much.
That's fair. That's a lot of students go through that, especially in your situation when you have a lot more to pay for than the average student. I
Hmm.
understand why you feel that way, but it's always a good thing to keep putting one foot in front of the other, which
Yeah.
is keep going, because if you drop out of school, you're gonna I can't speak for you, but a lot of students would regret that. So I that's just kind of how I feel that you should not drop out of school just to work at a waitress job. Uh,
Yeah.
how would you say have you been relaxing lately? I know last time we talked, you said that you read books and go on walks in the park. I'm pretty sure it was to relax. Have you been doing that a lot? Like how much have you been doing that to kind of calm yourself?
Well, I really haven't had the chance to like go on walks because I'll go to class and then right after class I'll go to work and by the time I get home from work it's like dark outside already. So, I haven't really been getting the chance to do that, but occasionally I'll read too. It's just like I don't really have the energy to do that anymore. So,
So you don't have a lot of energy, so you aren't doing the things that helped you relax like last time that you talked to me. Because I know last time we talked, you said you were doing that semi-frequently. From what I remember, you were doing that semi-frequently and it was helping you, but now you just feel you haven't had the chance.
yeah, I just don't have like the time or energy anymore.
That's understandable. It's a lot of work you're going through right now. Have you been
Yeah.
becoming very irritable or annoyed lately? Have you been very easy to set off lately?
Honestly, yeah, I think, well, yesterday I really snapped at one of my roommates. And I'm usually not like that. I'm usually very go with the flow. Um, but I don't, it was over something very small. Like, I feel like I just been taking out the trash all the time. And I walked downstairs and she was sitting in the living room. And I just was like, one second. Um, and I just screamed at her. And it's so like unlike me, but I literally don't know what came over me.
That's understandable. Has this been becoming a reoccurring thing lately, or is this that was kind of like a one-time deal?
That's probably the worst it's gotten, but like there's been smaller like things like that. So I don't know. It like I said, that's just like not me, but I think it's just due to everything that's going on right now. So
That's understandable. And okay, circling back to the not being able to sleep at night, would you say that you are like physically tired, but you're still mentally awake, or is it kind of the other way around where your brain wants you to sleep, but your body feels the need to keep going?
I think it's like my body's tired, but my brain is just like keeping me awake. Like I'm so sore right now because I'm standing, running around all the time. Um, but it just like my thoughts that just keep me up.
And how would you how's your sleep been lately? I know you say you haven't been sleeping, but like what times are you getting off of work and then are you going to bed immediately or are you kind of I guess not going to sleep, but laying in bed?
Mhm.
Are you kind of working on the house and then you lay in bed? And then what time do you have to get up for school? Because all of that combined can just kind of become an endless cycle. So I would like to kind of get a little grasp on what's going on there.
Yeah, I would say I usually get off around, well, we close at 10, so I probably get home around 10:30 and try to eat dinner, shower. So I'm probably like in my bed by like 12, but it's like I have a lot of school to do, so I don't try to go to bed before 2 and all of my classes are 8 or 9. So, yeah, I mean, and I can't even fall asleep. I probably fall asleep at 4. Um, so yeah, it's just, and then on the weekends, I work doubles both Saturday and Sunday. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so it's getting roughly, let's say you said four and your class are 8 or 9, so roughly 4 to 5 hours on a, is that like an average or is that like a bad night? Like, is that like been every day lately or has that just been like once a week or how's that been? How often is that?
I would say 3 times a week, probably.
Okay. And what would you say a good night is like for you?
Um, Probably 5 to 6 hours of sleep, I would say.
Okay, so that's a little bit longer. Maybe you're going to, is that because you're going to bed any earlier? Or is that because your classes are later that day?
Classes are later.
Okay, so it's kind of the same time every night, 4 a.m. Well, I guess every morning at that point, every 4 a.m. every time, roughly.
Around there, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's understandable. Well, I have to say that is a little concerning. I would like to keep talking to you about this, but I would also like to ask you shift gears a little bit and ask you some different questions, just a little bit to see how some I guess some depression questions, just so I can get a grasp on that too. Because it sounds like you're having a little bit trouble with anxiety, so I just want to make sure if depression's on the board or not too. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I know you said you haven't been doing reading or walking in the park lately. Have you been doing really anything else lately other than working or school? I know you said last time you had to drop out of your sorority, but have you been able to maybe talk to them about coming back, or is that still just like a no-go?
Um, I just don't really see how I can um join it again with the whole money thing. And I feel like my friends, like some my roommates are in the sorority as well. And it just feels like they kind of have like moved on without me. And like if I went back, like I just feel like I've already missed out on, a lot of like parties and like events and things. And, you know, I will just be like in my room doing school and I can just hear them getting ready and, playing music and like, I don't know, it just makes me feel awful, but yeah, I don't know.
It's understandable. It's the feeling of being left out when you don't want to be. That's
Yeah.
it's a very real
Yeah.
feeling. Have you been saying that you've been feeling down, depressed lately? Have you been having any hope for the future, or have you just been kind of not hopeful at all?
I mean, I'm think like I just am having a hard time seeing how this could get better and like it just seems like I'm getting deeper and deeper into a hole. Um, I just really don't see this getting better anytime soon. So I'm just trying to like obviously just, push through and like keep going, but I don't know. It's getting hard, I guess.
Yep. And how's your appetite been? Have you been eating enough? Have you been under eating, overeating? How are we on like an average day, let's say, on an average day?
Um, I would say I do eat like 2 meals a day. Um, and like I eat at my job, like I get free food there. So I definitely eat there once and I'll have like an energy drink. Um, yeah, I would say my appetite's fine.
Okay. Okay. And I know I've been kind of talking about you not being able to sleep a lot, but I'm just kind of gauging how you feel. And when you say during the day, are you feeling more tired or having a little energy, or is it kind of when you wake up, you feel decently rested, or how is that going for you?
I feel like I'm always tired. So,
I mean, that's understandable. 4 or 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep is not enough, but it's something. It's enough to get you through the day, but clearly, obviously, it's not enough. How
yeah.
have you been feeling about yourself? Does everything that's been going on lately been having a negative impact on you? What are your thoughts? Like, what are you thinking about yourself in all this?
Um, I mean, I kind of feel like a little bit of a failure just because I started off this year so strong. Like I had all my friends and like I was in my sorority and I didn't even have like any money problems at all. And now it just like things have just been flipped upside down. I am like proud of myself for, like still, you know, being in school, even though like I kind of don't want to be, but um yeah, it's just like I don't know, I just have some like intrusive just like thoughts of me being a failure and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been trying. So I like think I'm pretty hardworking, but yeah, I don't know.
It's understandable. I mean, you have been working a lot and you're still in school, which is good. And we can definitely, I know you've been having money problems, but we can definitely talk about that in a minute after some more questions about how we can help you kind of relieve some of that money stress.
Mhm.
How has your concentration been? Have you been watching, like when you're watching a show or and you're in class, are you focusing on it or are you kind of just scattered brained?
Um, well, normally in class, like I do go to all my classes, but I'll usually just be like working on another class during the lectures and stuff, just because like I think it just saves time and stuff. So I'll usually just be doing something else, but at least I'm showing up to class.
True, that's always a good thing, showing up to class. Uh, so you said you're not really paying attention, you're working on other stuff. Is that the same for other activities? Like when you get home and you're laying in bed, are you able to focus on one thought, or are you kind of just thinking this and that? Or like, do you ever watch any TV? How has that been going? You watch any shows and you've been able to focus on them?
Um, yeah, I mean, sometimes I do just like kind of get distracted in my mind about like, you know, how things are going and stuff like that. So I guess I haven't really been able to focus well on anything.
And then how have you been doing? You've been tired lately. It's been affecting your physical life. Have you been kind of been reacting slower? Are you saying that it's like, are you getting out of bed slower? Maybe you hear something but you don't immediately look over. Is that have you been affected in that kind of way, or you kind of just been your reflexes kind of stayed the same? How's that been?
Um, I think like I've kind of let a couple things like slide. Like I'm a little bit more forgetful than I normally am. Pretty usually on top of things, but there's just like so much going on. I think that I don't know. I just randomly, an assignment or like anything, I just kind of forget about. And usually not like that.
That's understandable. Have you been getting out of bed slower? Like, let's say between now and the beginning of the year, have you noticed a significant change in your like morning routine?
Mm, I mean, yeah, compared to the beginning of the year when everything was like going great for me. Um, yeah, I mean, it's harder to get up these days, I would say.
Okay. And then could you kind of walk me through what that morning routine looks like for you? Maybe now compared to the beginning of the year, would you say you do more or less? And would you say like, have you kind of let it go where you're maybe not doing as much as you once were, or you're not styling your hair every day, or you're not even like brushing your teeth every day? Is it kind of just been letting go? Like, can you walk me through that kind of thing from your perspective?
Yeah, I like get up. Um, I used to do my makeup every single day before school. I used to like care a lot about that, and I can't be bothered to do that anymore. I just, it's just like not a priority, but that used to be something that was so important to me. I would have like a 10-step skincare routine. I'd pick out my outfit, make sure everything looked good, you know. And now I really don't care. Like I just wear sweats to class every single day. I have my work outfit packed in my car and I just go there straight straight after school. So,
It's understandable. And would you say so that's all been kind of so pretty much you haven't been doing as much. I understand that. It's and when you say that that's a direct result from the stress in your life of this work, school, and like life balance, maybe you're putting the life part kind of down so you can elevate school and work a little bit more just so you don't fall under.
yeah.
Okay, that's understandable. A lot sometimes, unfortunately, that does happen with people, especially if college students like your age. And can you kind of walk me through just like is how much is your rent? Like how much are you spending on rent compared to like how much do you make? And like is the your food bill really taking a toll on how much money you can save? Are you saving any money?
Um, well, it kind of sucks because, again, my parents were paying for my apartment, so I kind of got a bougie apartment, and all my roommates, they don't have any money struggles. My rent is $800 a month and before utilities. Um, I would say I like I said, I eat a lot at the restaurant, so I don't really get groceries. I mainly just rely on like the messed up food from the kitchen um, at work. But I don't know, I am kind of struggling a lot to make rent just on top of my utilities as well, um, my phone bill, just everything. So,
Okay. And I do have one last kind of serious question before I go into other things. Would you are you considering uh harming yourself in any way? Do you think maybe you would be better off not alive anymore, or is that kind of just not really a thought for you?
um, it's not really thought for me. I just really, I just think about how life used to be and I just want to get back there. Um, yeah, I don't really want to die or anything. It's just I don't really want to keep this lifestyle up, I guess, that
Okay.
I have.
So at least you have the motivation to kind of want to push back and go back to how you were. That's always a good sign. That's the first step in the actually getting back there is having the motivation to. And so I'm going to ask you a couple non-assessment questions. I will admit, after hearing those questions, I am a bit concerned that you are struggling with some depression and anxiety concerns. I hopefully maybe the next time we meet, we can more in depth help you through a process with that. But right now, I want to talk about some other things. Would it maybe be easier for you to find a cheaper apartment right now, like move out, or would that be too much stress on top of school and everything?
Um, I've thought about it. Um, I just think about my lease is through the end of the year and I have to find a subleaser and will that cause drama with my friends that, you know, have this perfect life? I don't know. So I mean, I've thought about it for sure. I don't know if getting a different job, but that just seems like a lot of work to try to find and do all that for, but I mean, I'm open to whatever would make my life better, so
Okay. See, I was just maybe a different apartment would help you, lessen the rent, lessen your hours at work, that could always help. It does sound like work and trying to keep up paying for stuff and on top of school is definitely a big stress in your life. Is maybe moving back home with your parents a good idea or a bad idea? How would you rate that? Good or bad?
Um, Actually, that's not a bad idea. I would say I would definitely have to move in with my dad, though. Me and my mom are kind of in a fight right now, or like we haven't spoken in a really long time since all this happened. Um, so maybe my dad.
Okay. Okay. And then you said you and your mom are in a fight. Would you ever be open to maybe trying to reconnect with your mom, try and get past that? Do you think that might help you with your struggles with what you're going through right now? Or do you think maybe it's better to kind of let it lie for the moment and just focus on getting through right now?
Um, I feel like I think if I talked to my mom and things didn't go the way I wanted, I think that would really just like send me over the edge.
That's understandable. So maybe it's a better idea right now to just focus on getting you through this, getting you through the school
Yeah,
year, and getting you to a better position, which is understandable. Sometimes you gotta focus on yourself first before you can kind of focus on others. So it's good you at least are acknowledging that you need to come first in this scenario, which is a good thing. I'm glad you're thinking that right now.
thanks.
How have you ever thought of maybe trying to apply for some government assistance, maybe like the SNAP program to help with that food cost? I know you said you kind of just eat whatever's in the kitchen, but maybe getting some money from the government to pay for food so then you can make your own food, eating something that's a little healthier, a little not just restaurant food or whatever you can find. Do you think that might help you uplift your mood a little bit and help you throughout the day?
Yeah, honestly, I don't really know much about that. So, I mean, if is what you're saying, like I get money for food, is that what it
Yeah,
is?
it's kind of like that. You would have to apply to it, and obviously, you'd have to apply for it, and then you'd get an EBT card, which I'm sure you've probably heard of.
Yeah.
The government loads a certain amount of money onto it every week, and then you use that money to pay for food. And basically, it's just the government giving you money for food, and you can only spend it on food though. You can't cheat the system and like spend it on anything else, which it's like the trust system. You need to be able to spend it on what they give it to you for. But I do feel like that would help you because it kind of sounds like your diet isn't the best right now, even though you are eating enough. It kind of sounds like you're just kind of eating whatever you can find.
Yeah. Honestly, that would be helpful. Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Okay. And then as we were wrapping up here, I'd like to just talk to you maybe about how on like an average day, I just want you to give me like a rating on out of like 1 to 10, how has your anxiety been? Just on an average day, no good or bad, just maybe one being your anxiety free, which is unlikely, but just as a baseline, you're anxiety free, and then 10 being every day you are riddled with anxiety that you can barely get out of your normal routine.
I'd say a 7.
A seven, okay. And then what does a seven, can you describe what a seven is to you? Like, how can I visualize that in my head for you?
I would say like I can't really focus on anything, like in class, like what I was talking about when I try to go to bed. I just like always have that anxious feeling and I can't relax or do anything else. I feel like it's really distracting, honestly.
Okay. And then kind of the same measurement for your some depression. Are you feeling depressed a lot, like on a scale of 1 to 10? Obviously, one being none, none at all, and 10 being you feel like you can't get out of bed.
Say 5.
A five? Okay.
Yeah.
And once again, how is a five to you? Like, how can I visualize that for you?
I would say like I don't want to get out of bed, but I do have to. I know that I have to, so I do.
Okay. Well, that was a very constructive session. I'm very glad you came back to meet with me. I hope to see you again in a couple weeks, and then we can kind of discuss a little bit more. I will definitely, next time you come in, I will have some things ready for you about some SNAP benefits and different things you might be able to apply for just to kind of help relieve some of that pressure. I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.